Puerto Penasco, Mexico is about a 4-hour drive from the Phoenix area and is considered by most Phoenicians to be Arizona's beach. This area is commonly referred to as Rocky Point. When you look out the window, you will see that the real expansion is not to the north, but to the east, towards the direction we're flying. This is where we find Rocky Point's finer beaches. As we approach the sandy beach area, you'll find condominium projects that have really come within their own since 2002. If you can possibly imagine that 7 years ago, this was nothing more than 5 miles of undeveloped, windswept sand dunes. These projects alone have elevated Rocky Point into the 5th most sought-after second home communities within Mexico. People would drive their motorhomes and 4-wheel drive vehicles over the sand just to camp and enjoy a leisurely weekend with nothing to do but to sit on the beach. The real premier resort in Sandy Beach is known as Bella Serena. This guard-gated community raised the standard of quality both in design and in value. It is comprised of high-rise condos, beachfront homes, and single-level villas. We are currently viewing the 1,430 square foot condo model located on the 3rd level of the tower closest to the ocean. These units have typically been priced from $368,000 to $420,000. From the balcony, we are overlooking the 1,600 square foot 3-bedroom villas, which have been offered around $899,000. They are currently sold out. Rocky Point is primarily an Arizona market. In fact, Phoenix comprises 85% of all the real estate sales. We are now turning our attention to the 8 2,500 square foot beachfront homes within Bella Serena. These are very well appointed properties, commanding a price tag of $1.5 million each. We believe that the luxury subdivisions are really the wave of the future. It was viewed as quite a vision for the developer to take the very first steps in meeting the demand for the high-end luxury home buyer. The new condominium towers are currently under construction, reaching from 9 to 13 stories high. The 2,400 square foot condos range from $239 to $266 per square foot. If you're lucky enough to grab one of the almost 4,000 square foot penthouses, it'll set you back $920,000 to $2.2 million. The walking distance from these new towers to the beach will still be 175 yards away. The Casablanca Golf Villas are a group of small condominiums located a little over a half mile from the beachfront, without real clear views of the ocean. The 2-bedroom models are currently offered from $279,900 up to $549,900. The 1,600 square foot model that we're in right now on the 3rd floor was sold for $650,000. One Rocky Point real estate study cites that second-tier home values in 2002 rose 56.5%, in 2003, 49.1%, and in the first quarter of 2004, 38.4%. Next stop is Los Conchos, one of the oldest established communities of single-family houses built mostly one brick at a time by the individual owners. You might be able to purchase a 3-bedroom home in the mid-300,000s, but if you want a clear view of the ocean, be prepared to spend nearly $750,000. This area contains few of the luxuries and modern creature comforts found in the newer Sandy Beach projects. As we continue down towards the second estuary, we come upon a very unique area with ocean views from both north and south. We have reached Miramar Beach and the home of the Mayan Palace Resort. Below, you see a group of private luxury homes that were built at the time on leased land. We'll cover the recent developments here in just a moment. The last group of buildings that you see are those of the Mayan Palace Resort. Our map identifies 33 popular communities within close proximity to the water. These have been the main centers of influence for real estate sales. Our small yellow airplane outlines a path that we followed for this program. we spent the greatest amount of time showcasing the actual real estate projects that had proven track records and successes with United States buyers. We round off our tour back at the second estuary where the Mayan Palace Resort resides. This is where we find the only remaining large parcel of land for sale on Miramar Beach. As I previously mentioned, Americans constructed expensive luxury homes on this leased land with the hope of someday gaining clear ownership and transferable title to the property. In 2002, land values had soared, and developers began to inquire about the available parcels around the beach. The Americans, realizing that their leased land and luxury homes could be in peril, they called in Raoul O'Farrell and Associates to represent them in securing actual ownership for their properties. Raoul was able to successfully negotiate a mutual agreement with all parties. This was signed 2 years later by both the sellers and by the Miramar homeowners in the summer of 2004. The existing homeowners need now only to register the master trust with the government to complete legal title. Raoul had an engineering firm perform a GPS survey in order to identify boundary lines for each of the parcels and for those of the second tier. These coordinates were checked with surrounding areas for accuracy. The law firm then assisted the current Homeowners Association in creating a more specific set of CC&Rs. This modified language could then be attached to the master trust, thus enabling the Mexican government to recognize the Miramar Homeowners Association as a legal entity in Mexico. This allows the association to enforce the laws and regulations of their beach. In other words, you won't find any sand buggies or quad runners racing up this stretch of land. With these items completed, the entire first and second tier properties were now prepared for sale and legal transfer of title. The First American Title Insurance Company of the United States would now insure this land. During this 2-year process, my partners and I followed every step of the negotiations. Before the process was complete, we hired Raoul O'Farrell and Associates to negotiate on our behalf an option to purchase this second-tier land. Here is the beachfront property. This is the land in which the owners spent 2 years of their time and money acquiring legal title from the previous Mexican owners. Behind it is a second tier, an only large parcel of land left for sale in this area. The property measures 199 by 3,751 feet. It's highlighted within the red lines. The existing resort with its new construction is shown by the black circle at the end of this property. Surrounding us on the north, east, and west borders is land owned by the Mayan Palace Resort. They had the foresight to purchase this property several years back before the Rocky Point real estate market experienced its boom. We view them as a tremendous windfall, for our home buyers can be certain that the surrounding property will be developed by a world-class resort. After all, they can simply pop next door to gain a good idea and understanding of what the future holds. The Mayan Palace Resort also realized the potential upside of this location and had the funds to quickly jump into the picture. They bought just about every remaining parcel on the peninsula that they could obtain with clear legal title and began building a luxury resort. With a hotel occupancy rate consistently in the 90% range, they're sure to have a built-in success. During high tide, the estuary to the north fills, creating an additional water view. Ocean breezes flowing over this water provides cooler temperatures to the entire peninsula in the summertime. We estimate that this parcel could support from 90 to 100 two-story luxury homes built on this 3/4-mile-long second-tier property. Each homeowner could enjoy their own fenced single-family home with beautiful ocean views from all rooms on the second level. We have secured an option to purchase this 17.14 acre land for $4.2 million. Funds are due in a series of payments over the following 2 years. We'd like to place our land in the same rules and regulations already being set up by the existing beachfront community. This would be a tremendous selling point to many investors, for few communities have been set up so legally and able to maintain the integrity of their beaches. The foundation for acquiring legal title is behind us. Our team of professionals have the knowledge, experience, motivation, and passion to make this dream come true. All of us have extensive experience on both sides of the border. This is the project that will be the talk of Rocky Point. The risk is minimal and the financial rewards will be outstanding for our investment group. If we sparked an interest, please contact us and we'd be glad to show you our figures and share with you a marketing program second to none.